compromise. And when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance, pushing limits,
Seizing victory.
when victory hangs in the balance.
I know what I'm relying on.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable.
And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms? Light as a feather.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And is the choice of champions.
Final stone. Does he have it? Yes, he does! What a shot! John Schuster! Oh my goodness! A third of a rock for... That would make sense why he didn't curl.
Well, we gotta not kill that. It's gotta just be in the catch zone.
I mean, my gut is like hack to board and just roll 3 feet. 2 feet.
Yeah? Yeah, I think it's probably just hack.
You're always touching the 6.
I don't know that this leaves the 4-foot with hack.
Really good spots for Mouat.
I think John's in a situation where he needs to send one of the red guards back.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, and it's dead nose and just, it's gonna go spinning. This actually might catch two and just leak back.
I think it does.
Okay, so it might, yep. Close to dead.
Hammer something.
Extra focus of the players, because sometimes you just couldn't hear yourself thinking, and we needed to like use signs and show what we meant instead of just shouting out a number or like play this hit and roll kind of thing. We had to show everything, so that added another level, I guess, to our game. After that, we've been a little better when the crowd is loud or when you can't hear as well.
Johnson on this one here.
Can't hear yet for line ever.
No, they like line. Now does it have the speed? They like the line. Does it have the speed? They're going hard for line. You have to get by this top yellow. Trevor Johnson leaning on it. He's by it. Now does it stop in time? Has to stop in time. What a shot from Ryland Kleider. We thought it was maybe the hardest option up from the booth, but that's why we're not down there.
I've stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise. And when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance, pushing limits,
Seizing victory.
when victory hangs in the balance.
I know what I'm relying on.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions. At the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise. And when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance, pushing limits,
Seizing victory.
when victory hangs in the balance.
I know what I'm relying on.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable.
And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared. I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms? Light as a feather.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
And is the choice of champions.
Final stone.
Whoa! Close! Girl! Easy! Whoa!
Does he have it? Yes, he does! What a shot! John Schuster! Oh my goodness! A third of a rock for... That would make sense why he didn't curl.
Well, we gotta not kill that. It's gotta just be in the catch zone.
I mean, my gut is like...
Close. Last drop.
Yep.
8th in.
Close.
The tie to Is it Alvarado?
We are live from the Sleeman Center here in Guelph, Ontario, Canada for the WFG Masters. We're in the quarterfinal rounds this morning. Big matchup here for our feature. Yannick Schwaller taking on Bruce Mouat. We'll take a look at the lineups here. For Team Mouat, Skip, Bruce Mouat, third. Grant Hardy, second. Bobby Lammy, and lead, Hammy McMillan Jr.
If you don't know this team yet, just tune out.
Yeah, we're done. And for Team Schwaller, throwing last rocks, Benoit Schwartz, Van Berkel. Third and calling the house, Yannick Schwaller. Second, Sven Mikkel. And at lead, Pablo
Escobar.
No? We'll stick with that. Yeah, good enough. He's kind of a one-name guy now, Pablo. I am Tyler George, joined here by three-time world champion Brent Lang. Brent, couldn't be better than this. The two top-ranked teams in the world going at it. Mouat, somehow, someway, actually losing a game here in this tournament. His second loss in the slams in the last 4 that they've played. But no surprise to see these two teams here, but maybe a bit of a surprise to see them facing off in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you were going to bet, you'd bet on both these teams to be in the playoffs because they always are. As you said, Schwaller very quietly number 2 in the world, and they do it with consistency. And as all the top teams do, they're just always in the playoffs. But the draft changed things a little bit. I know, Johnny, if you don't follow Jonathan Brazo on Twitter, you should. If you want any curling info, he's our everything guy, but really a stats guy and writes lots of great stories. And he did send out what the lineups or what the matchups would have been. And the only one that would have been the same if we went the traditional route would have been White was going to line up against the Dean. The rest of the games would have been different. So interesting that Team Jacobs chose Miscadovitz. If you haven't seen the videos from last night, there was some
the big
hooting and
surprise
hollering
from
and
those of
booing
us sitting
and
here. The defending European champions.
They've never played them, they said, and that was their excuse. And well, maybe they're going to find out. Maybe they're not. Who knows? But our game's going to be a heater for sure. Team Mouat maybe just got upset, pissed off that they lost the game and going to run it. But it's not as easy as they're making it look to win these Grand Slams this year. To win 3 in a row is impressive. To win 4 in a row would be pretty wild. Heading into the Players' Championship, they have a chance to win all 5 in one calendar year. That would be nuts.
For Team Schwaller, making their way into the quarterfinals with a win in the tiebreakers this morning. And Brent, really, they were up against it before that, going into the final round robin game at 1-2 and trailing Brad Gushue 4-1 at the break and ran him off in 7. 4-1-4, 10-4 victory. I don't know if that's them catching their rhythm during the break of that final game, but obviously a team ranked as high as they are, very dangerous, and maybe the top heat check team on tour. When they get hot, they can beat anybody.
For sure, and the other piece of staying high in the rankings and winning all these events is you got to catch a few breaks along the way. You earn them. Your consistent play does earn that, and you know, in quotations, if you could see me, the normal team, Gushue doesn't give up leads like that, but that is not who was here this week. For whatever reason, they weren't quite themselves, and I think Brad would be the first to admit he wasn't quite himself. There's a guy that just day in and day out plays 90% and doesn't miss anything that's really makeable, and he's close on the impossible shots too, and that just wasn't the case this week. So that was a wild one. I think you were on the call with John Cullen, and I was watching a little bit from afar as we were covering a different game, but you need some breaks, and they got a big one there, and that was not, 0-4 for Gushue, has to pay his entry fee for the first time. I think somebody said since like 2006.
2006, yeah.
That's pretty wild.
The year they won gold in the Olympics.
They had I think it was 25 slams in a row they qualified in. That was broken, I think, last year.
So they qualified in 25 straight, too.
That's nuts, too.
Good
That's not
Lord.
That's not really normal either. Qualifying in 25 slams in your life is impressive. 25 in a row?
I didn't play in 25 slams in my life.
Not many people do. That's 5 years playing in all of them, all 5 if there was 5. And for a lot of years there was only 4, so. John Epping, I asked him yesterday, and I took a guess, and I was really close. How many slams do you think, and I might not remember it exactly, but I'll pretend. We can go back and check. But how many slams do you think Epping's played in his career? He says it's been a while, obviously, but they're back now and looking like more than they belong. How many slams has John Epping played in?
Oh, I'm going to just throw out 30?
I think it was 61 or something.
61?
Crazy, right? You forget he played second with Madaw way back when he was really young.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
And then he was
think about that
fixture for probably at least 10 years. So there's 40 to 50. He's better than we give him credit for. I think that's kind of the story of his life.
Yeah, John and I are the same age. We played in the curling camp together, the Amethyst camp in Thunder Bay, Ontario, when we were 16 years old.
Nice.
So we reminisce about those days every once in a while, but yeah, one of my peers playing in 61 of those things. A little jarring, but we are underway. Team Mouat has hammer. Center guard up for Schwaller to start things off.
Not going with the corner guard, going straight around. Reminder, if you're just tuning in for the playoffs, if you're a fair weather fan and only want to come for the real action, then there is a new rule this week. You cannot blank 2 ends in a row. Well, you can blank 2 ends in a row, but you'll lose the hammer if you do. So if you go around, that's, saying you probably want to keep the blank alive. If you're trying really hard to score a deuce, most teams will throw a corner and then blow up the middle, but there's all sorts of ways to get a deuce.
Pablo Lachacouche-Pan playing the intern freeze. Locks that on.
Not sure where Benoit and the fellas found Pablo, but I remember the first time we played him a few years ago, and he said, "How do you guys like my new toy?" You can't teach 6'3" and all that leverage and height. Yeah, he might even be taller than that, but
I remember talking with Howard Peterson, their coach, about him coming on board, and his game has developed over the last couple of years, Brent, as a shooter. But at the time, when he was fresh to the squad, Howard said, we did not bring him on for his shooting.
Right, you can learn how to shoot. You can't learn how to be 6'4".
Yeah. Howard's been sick as a dog this week, but I think he's back on the bench.
Is he in town, yeah?
Yeah. I think he's back there behind the chute now. Tall guy in the gray hat.
One of the great guys of the game, great characters. Yep. Funny on Twitter, great follow on Twitter, too.
One of the best.
President of the Leeds Union, I believe.
I'm going to show you a picture of what he looked like sick in bed this week.
Not great. Is that a filter to make him look extra white like that? That's not good.
No, that's just his color.
5 perfect shots to start the game. Brucey doesn't love it. He's going to get Bobby here to kind of blow this up. Knows that his middle yellow will stay, and probably trying to hit it just on the nose, and all the reds will go and lie one buried after this. Don't see this at your local curling club all the time. I'll be bringing a little extra pepper. Oh, that did not work. I actually thought it needed to curl, and you tend to get a little extra curl on those in the first end. That's the hardest run back he'll throw all game in terms of degree of difficulty, just because of the uncertainty of the ice. Sometimes they do curl that inch, and missing by an inch on those that wasn't even an inch. That was probably a half an inch he missed by. You mentioned Yannick calls the game. Ever talk to them about why they do it that way?
Yeah, I asked him off the record. I didn't really go into what he said, but
oh, come on.
Yeah, they
nothing's off the record. They know that, Tyler.
It certainly seems as though, with the talent level of the back-end players, that Yannick is a talented enough player to throw last. But they have 3 last rock throwers on the team. All 3, between Yannick, Sven, and Benoit, have skipped at a World Championships. That's one of those things that, you put together all-star teams. It has to work chemistry-wise. And it's a credit to Yannick and to Sven that they're willing to step down, play those other positions for the greater good. And obviously, number 2 ranked team in the world, things have worked out very well for them. Bobby Lammy trying to get some granite moving here.
That was a very political answer. I guess I'll just have to make something up.
Yeah, well, wait for the night draw, and we'll get less.
We'll get the truth.
Yeah.
Benoit's as talented as anyone. I think it was the 2016 or 2012 Worlds that he would have made his first appearance. They're both in Basel, so it's hard to differentiate. But he came in off the bench as a super young guy. It must have been 2012.
Had to be 2012. Yeah.
And he came off the bench, and that's kind of his hometown. We were there.
You won 2016, if I remember right.
Maybe 2012 too. Yeah, I like that arena in Basel. I hate the one in Pyeongchang. I love the one in Basel.
I have a different opinion on the subject. Although we did medal in 16 in Basel.
Yeah, and you guys had us beat there, and Johnny,
oh yeah,
I think he basically gassed his last one.
That intern
poke.
Yeah, 2-foot run.
Yeah, and he
poked her out wide.
It was a typical Schuster reaction.
I think it was.
We still won, right? And it's like, no, John,
nope.
We didn't.
I think the final was 10-9. So those 2 years combined, 15 and 16, we played Pat Simmons with Morris. In 15, we played you guys in 16. In the round-robin games, we scored 19 points against Team Canada and lost both. 11-10 and 10-9.
Probably not super, perfectly played games by either team. But fun to watch. A little hit and roll out there, a little unforced error by...
Yeah, the game against Simmons was the first game of the tournament.
Oh, that's always a messy game.
On the boards with the hot crowd. That was fun. And you guys, I think it was like second game maybe? It was early in the tournament.
It was earlier for sure, yeah. And we felt super fortunate to have that. And to win those, you need some breaks. And that was a big one for us. But
that's what the greats do, Brent. They win no matter what.
Yeah, Benoit came in. He was probably 21, and the hometown crowd was dinging those Swiss bells for him, and he was making a ton of shots. I think the original skip was Jan Hauser.
Okay, yeah. That's a name I haven't heard for a while.
Yeah, no, I don't think he played very long. Played with Ralph Stockley for a while, but anyway, chance for Grant Hardy. They're going to hit and roll away and probably try and keep the blank alive here. It's not a great situation with 2 centers. Needs to stay. I think one of the reasons, there's a million reasons why Mouat's the best team in the world, but one of them is definitely their understanding of the weight control and how hard to throw shots and when to throw it hard and when to throw it soft. They throw probably as many board weight hits as anybody and seem to control them, and so much so that people think they have more control sweeping than most because of the way they throw it. And it's like Kevin Cooey used to say, he makes a couple of those crosshouse doubles nobody can make, and Kevin used to say, as a team would be like, oh, we can't leave him this. Kevin would whisper, the coup makes people see things. And I think Mouat makes people see things. And it's like, these guys are, superhuman. They must have some type of advantage over us. And it's like, their advantage is they don't miss as much. And it's not because you're not capable of the shots. They just don't make those mistakes as often as anybody else.
Yeah, there's a famous line here that Vikings fans are going to hate to hear with their quarterback, Sam Darnold, said, I'm seeing ghosts out there. And I think that's how we felt playing Kev, too. You're making us see ghosts. Like, you can't make that shot. What are you doing? That roll goes completely buried, back 8.
I think they might have to switch gears, yeah. Yep. Brucey sees that if we can probably chase that, but then we're back 8, and if they decide, Ben was one of the best shooters in the world, but really has improved. He can throw it 1,000,000 miles an hour now, but he's always been known as, I think his nickname was T-Line for a while. So with the staggered guards, I think it's best to just beat them in there.
Yeah, this is a good setup to get you 2. Just need this above the T-line behind these guards.
All 4 games covered on home team. If you're watching, I'm not even sure is the full house coverage available, but I don't mind if you slip over to the Jacobs-Muscadovitz game right now, because without the hammer, Muscadovitz is drawing around double centers and Jacobs is lying 3. So Brad's draft pick, I don't know, in about 2 minutes might look real good. They might be up 4-0.
Yeah, and he's going to have, well, I guess he might not have a run in.
It'd be an awfully long one. It's that one just over the hog.
Yeah, that's the only one they can use.
Grant Hardy doing Grant Hardy things, probably pissed off that went about 4 inches too far, but Ben was going to try and move it. He knows if he freezes, he's given up 2, because Bruce will just draw the side of the button. He'll have to hit it, and Bruce will do it again.
Brent, you'd be happy to know, too, when we called one of Bruce's games in the last slam, they played a run-in redirect double that we laughed when they called clean. They did it again last night. They played another one that was running an opponent's stone into 2 staggered rocks in the house. For all 3 to go, it had to hit the higher one first and then come back up off the second one. And they called clean halfway down the sheet. Again, and made, of course.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. They don't, some teams are, and it's just personality-wise, but they never panic. They're into the line calls, but it's not a screaming match. It's... It looks like Team Jacobs does have a chase for 4.
Yeah, that rock is pretty much wide open. Did not finish. So Brad's going to make us all look dumb.
Here goes Pablo. See if he can carve this one over there. This isn't, you know, by all accounts, it's not great carving ice, which is to say it's really good curling ice. It's not soft. When it gets soft or frosty, that's when the carving gets crazy.
Yeah, this is looking like a possible 3 now for Mouat. That just ticks that rock farther under cover.
Trying so hard to make something real good in the first to not give up 2 that we might have forced him to 3.
Yep. So Brad makes this over on cheat A. He'll have scored 9 points combined in his last 2 games in the first end.
Brucey just trying to whip one right on top of this yellow one. Huge trouble for the Germans.
Yeah, that's 4. Good night, sweet prince.
What a draft pick by Team Cups.
Next level stuff from Brad Jacobs, picking the defending European champions in the quarterfinals, up 4-0 after 1.
I got a feeling it's impossible to say Bruce Evers going to miss, but it seems like he's due to miss one. He's made about 712 of these in a row. What do you think?
You know, they weren't totally sharp in that game against McEwen last night, first few ends of the game. Mike had about 6-7 shots, almost all doubles that they didn't make. I heard that they probably should have won the game. May have met up with the rest of his squad last night at the hotel bar and chatted about it, and they thought maybe 7 was conservative.
That's a hell of a sweep to get that there. That seemed like heavy there. Sweeping it to get it to curl. When it curls, it does slow down a bit, and that looks pretty damn good to me.
Yeah, this is trouble now for Team Schwaller. Benoit is going to have to make a long run on this mid-red guard to avoid giving up a 3.
The other yellow guard's not in the way, eh?
He's got just enough, yeah. It should get by. Not a lot of space, though.
Should sneak by both reds. It won't jam on the back red, but the one just out of the 4-foot, is that going to miss that one? Might touch it and go, but not the first shot you dream of. Last skip stone in the first end when you don't have the hammer against the best team going. But maybe this is what they need. This would be a big swing early, a big momentum shot here.
Benoit Schwartz Van Berkel trying to make this long run double, get his team out of trouble. They like it out of hand. That's not going to do it, so draw to the 4-foot for 3 for Bruce Mouat starting this game off.
Not what the Swiss doctor ordered.
Yeah, and that switching gears, Brent, as you mentioned, playing the draw under the staggered guards. Scoring 3 with their last 3 shots if this is made by Bruce.
Nice cheer from the Canadian fans as looks like the Brush brothers still got it. Taking that one right out of Matt Dunstone's hand and a draw to the side of the 4-foot for 1 against Corey Dropkin, who won a tiebreaker this morning against Team Epping.
Final stone first end. Bruce Mouat throwing draw for 3. Really tight line they took on this too. That's pretty much edge of 4.
Just
keep an eye on this and see if the ice is indeed that straight.
You're on the nose of it just now. Throw.
That will be 3 for Bruce. The #1 team in the world. 3 out of the gates. They lead Team Schwaller 3-0 after 1 end.
All right.
Peace of mind, confidence, and financial independence. At World Financial Group, we believe your path to any of these goals is paved by financial education. That's why our agents spend every day empowering individuals and families of all backgrounds with the knowledge to make choices that fit their goals. No matter your financial goals, WFG can help you own your future. Visit worldfinancialgroup.com to learn more.
Bruce Mouat, winner of the last 3 Grand Slam events, takes 3 in the first end with their last 3 shots on Yannick Schwaller. Now leads 3-0. Tough hill to climb for Team Schwaller. They did come back from 3 points down against Team Gushue in their final round robin game.
14-2. Mega perfect C-shot.
But an even taller task here against Bruce Mouat's squad.
Handshake. Ja, sehr gut, ja. Sehr gut. No. Oder doch nicht? That's all the in the second half.
Intern corner guard going up from Pablo Lachat-Couchepin. Stop right on the logo.
Top 4. Top 8. Line's good. Probably over curling.
Interesting to see now if Team Mouat will go full out defense with a 3-point lead. Only in the second end of the game. Junior with a good pair. First one back of the button. Not his best, but decent setup to start things off. Spin around on the other sheets. We did mention Team Jacobs with that 4 in the first end against the defending European champions, Team Skadovitz. On sheet C, White and Nadine blank the first. They're 0-0. And over on sheet D, Dunstone with a big draw against multiple points in the first end. Rush Brothers bringing that in, the Harndens. 1-0 they lead over Corey Dropkin.
Wow, it's too early to choke up the corner, is it? Go 2/3 in. Halfway 2/3.
They didn't shake yet, Ty?
No, but Junior did throw one on the back of the button.
Okay.
So I think he's off the team.
That's unacceptable at our level.
It's unacceptable at their level.
Yeah.
Line's nice.
Double corners, this is where you kind of have a little in-between ends and try and park that. Easier said than done, and say, we just got to make a deuce here, boys. Get back in the game. Deuce, force, deuce. You know, get it back to level by the half would be ideal. Really don't want to be giving up any more steals here. That's probably a little mistake there by Bobby.
Bob throws that one in top ring. What do your kids call him again, Brent?
Bub.
Bub.
B-U-B. Bub. Hard Bub. The Scottish accent, they love it. And the first few times they watched, it's like, is that guy's name really Bub? I said, no, it's Bob. It's just their accent. So, and they just love how his whole body is just vibrating while he sweeps. Nobody tries harder than Bobby Landry, that's for sure.
There is the triple from Sven Mikkel. That'll open things up to attack for Team Schwaller.
Yeah, looks like a really good chance at a deuce now.
Yeah, it's a really good setup. And Brent, and we talked so many times about if you get down by 3 points early in the game, you just got to find 2. You're not looking to get it all back at once. You can just find a 2-point end, bounce back, feel like you're right back in the game.
Yeah, a good example is last end, you know, Team Mouat trying to make a deuce and then gets a little mistake. And that threes come from mistakes. You can't really play a perfect end with the hammer and expect to get 3 without a break or 2, especially later in the end. Really need a half shot or even almost a total miss by the skip. And unfortunately for Benoit, that's what he gave Bruce in the first. And then had an extremely difficult shot to bail out and just couldn't come up with the goods. Seeing runbacks over curl this morning more than we have. So it was raining outside this morning, kind of wet snow, and sometimes there's more humidity. Bigger crowd, biggest crowd we've seen probably, more humidity in the building.
Dr. Lang.
A little bit more frost. I don't know why things happen. I've just been around a long time and know that can change things.
Curl! Mush, 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 mate.
Draw here from Sven, completely buried on the tee line. Make the triple, make the come around draw.
Asking Grant to freeze one on there.
Brent, I feel like we've seen this shot, and usually it's been during the free guard zone shots. But the freeze and the draws under the corner guard without hammer, more in this tournament than we've seen throughout the Grand Slam season. Maybe this is something that teams are starting to track and feel like it's a good preventative shot.
Yeah, it used to be a shot you just really never played, and now I think they are realizing that as much as it's not fun to play, like there's a pretty good shot there. Didn't quite curl enough, but yeah, if you leave it there, like what else are they going to do there? The double peel, and then you're getting up a deuce. It's just it's a shot you have to have. It's a defensive shot with the 5 rock rule. As it continues to evolve, it's still, I don't think there's still like an adamant way on how to defend against the 5 rock rule. There's a couple different ideas out there, but I think a lot of times that's a shot you need to be able to play. Does he have room here, do you think, Tyler, to bump this back and lie 2?
Boy, that's really tight to the guard. But there's enough separation between those stones that it's probably there. And worst case, Brent, if you're tapping it nose or a little high side, it's still a good shot.
Need to be shot rock when this is done for sure.
Yeah, this would be a read out of hand for Benoit about if you're actually trying to bump that rock all the way to back 12s, or if you're just keeping it a sliver high.
Well, really good line, but he made it if it's possible, because he couldn't get any closer.
Go!
That's pretty good. Only sitting 1, but good position here for Team Schwaller. This couch is dangerous here, Brent.
Yeah, they call it sleepy couch, eh? It's like the Friday night curling couch. We requested and they left it. So we're going to be on it all day, I think.
I think this is the one they give the A squad, right? The luxury seats. It's like flying in first class.
It's pretty nice. So Grant trying to hit and roll broom side right to the button would be ideal, and can't jam it on the red one either, I don't think, because I think that would be second shot. This is the shot. These guys are better than anybody at these.
Yes.
Not trying to jinx it out, Grant, but and I think Grant's really underrated as a third, if that's possible.
Straight.
I'm just going to chip this one out the side and roll middle for fun.
Like, that's not an easy shot, guys. That's not supposed to be that easy.
No, that is perfect again from
He's
Matt Hardy.
disappointed. He just turned his head like,
I rolled too
we
far.
Could have made that better. And that's
what are you doing, Bruce?
That's the level they expect and the level they're capable of, unfortunately. I want no part of that smoke. Good luck, everybody.
Yeah, if you ever get a sliver of, maybe I want to go back out there. Maybe I want to give this a roll. Maybe watch these games. I don't think I want to be part of that.
Also, wir machen den Flop, oder? Also, ein Flop. Ja. Backline. Ja.
Back line, trying to kill it. Could freeze, but trying to keep that wide red one maybe alive. Maybe set this up for a double at some point.
Ja, also wenn wir losgehen, is second. Und dann kommt er aufpassen mit dem Hängen.
I wouldn't hate a freeze here. Not sure exactly what Bruce would do. You'd be shot. It's a path you know pretty well. Draw to the button.
So mit dem, wenn wir ihn kaputt chasen.
Even if it overcurls a bit and they try and blast, there's 2 jams on the far side, but...
Backline. Backline flop.
Back line, is he trying to go low here, Tyler? If he makes a really good shot here, the problem is Bruce is going to just freeze on the top of the button, and that's not going to be good news behind a tight yellow guard.
I think you're probably still trying to get to as much of it as you can. Bruce wants to freeze, let him. You got to try to find a 2 somewhere. See if they can carve this over. Sven Michel on the nose.
Not bad. These guys speak French to each other? Toujours?
Yep. I think they decide game by game. We've heard German. We've heard French.
Fring German. Fringlish German. They don't do much English. They all speak, a lot of the Euros speak English like their first language. It's quite impressive. Just listen to Bendik last night from Norway. And, man, you'd think he grew up in Canada.
Okay.
Same thing for Bruce here. And now if he can get a little bit low, the force is definitely on. Can't roll broomside and leave it double, although that wouldn't be very good anyway. Just freeze down to the pocket and force that way.
See Benny stealing Jeff Stoughton's chair over on sheet A. Taking a little break.
He's getting older. You got to take your breaks when you know. He's only got so much left in the tank. And Benny always plans for the 3 playoff games. So.
Back weight in turn here from Bruce Mouat. Of course, managed to get inside too. Carries about 2/3 of that stone. Don't see much in the way of a 2 right now, Brent, unless you play a tap.
I like the freeze on Yannick's. I don't know if I said that, but now you got a freeze bump and just get shot. Ideally, you bump this kind of into the hole and stay top 4 on about 3/4 or 7/8 of it. And to remove it, Bruce would really have to play the run back, and that would come with a lot of risk. There's still a little chance, but yeah, no advantage.
Need to get this out of half of the 4-foot, probably playing a tap.
Asking Sven to carve this one already. Not a good sign. This is much too heavy for the shot. He's going to be back 4-foot, and this is like through the ring.
Yeah, that's a lot of weight. It'll bump the rock to back 8, but sit wide open. Relook for Bruce at this hit and roll under center.
Point max.
Throws right to the top of the button too.
Yeah.
Need a break here if your team, Schwaller, just to score one. If this rolls right to the top of the button, you're going to have to draw a side
Edge stone, grad.
against 3. Maybe close here. Just threw a very similar shot. Probably throw this one a little bit harder, but Sportsnet bringing you all the action as always. They've got the around the rings coverage. Not quite as cool as our full house coverage, but it's pretty cool. They're on our game at the moment. Last shot for Bruce Mouat, second end.
Yep.
Hit and roll to the button to really
Straight. Whoa.
put the pressure on Team Schwaller here.
Hard. Hard. You gotta go. Hard, Tommy. Hard.
And they get the roll underneath center guard. Of course they can. That is dead buried once again. Perfectly done by Bruce Mouat. Brent, we talked about this in the game last night, that with everything they do, that particular shot with these in-between weights, the hack weights, the board weights, they make those more than anybody in the world by a long ways.
It's not even close. No, they make more than they miss, and that's not even fair. Like, One of the skills of curling that really nobody talks about, other than the top players, is the ability to call line properly. We talk about how powerful sweeping is. Well, if you don't know how to use it, it doesn't really matter how good your sweepers are. If you can't read the line, the weight, and everything properly and make that perfect line call like that, then it's all for naught anyway.
So final shot here in the second end. Benoit, Schwartz, Van Berkel trying to draw a bigger piece of the button. Looks like he needs to hit the brakes here.
Pretty close. They don't call him T-line for nothing.
That is right to the pin. Benoit secures the single for Team Schwaller. They trail 3-1 after 2 ends of play.
When you've conquered another game, a long day, a job well done, and the final work call, we're your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mike's. Eat locally, enjoy casually.
Ich werde mal dir bitte. Linie kommt, geht gut im Fall. Also Linie ist top. Ich habe das Gefühl, die Girls können. Wir müssen auf jeden Fall wechseln da. Ja. Altturn ist schwierig zum Hinten dran. Ja. Fair enough, ja. Schade, das ist so gut.
Tons of room here, Bob. You're never straight. Huge line. Let's go.
C'est bien. Ouais. 2. Chérie. Prima, aber gut. Sehr gut, Lenny. Die ist gut. Erst Sven. Curlens geht. Was? Es geht schon, aber nicht auf dem Mund. Ja, ja, mach das. You're running far away in this one. Curl noch ein, curl noch ein. Gut. Sehr gut, Pablo. Line's good. Yeah.
Top
Line's
4.
good.
Light only.
Top 8. Top 4. Waist good. Waist good. Line's perfect. Really 8, guys. We're almost like we're going
Perfect.
Ja, ich muss eine Tappe irgendwie. Optimal wäre halt oben tappen. Einer von beiden, ja. So nah wie es geht auf den mit der Linie 4, Sven.
Somebody want to tell the person give me a score?
Ja, ja, das ist super.
Das ist das.
Ja. Sehr gut, Lengi. Not too good. Hinne 4. C'est proche, Chateau. Hinne 4 in 8. Ja.
So, Hamid.
Lengi ist super. Für einen Tab ist perfekt. Straight, straight. Bien joué. Ja, ça peut être viel Tab am Schluss.
Denk so.
Genau, 4 Zeit, ja. Jetzt heißt es ja, denke ich, ja, ich habe gehofft, es geht hinten alle. Aber es ist schon gut so. Ah, ja.
Go, Bruce. Ja. Ja, is 3. Drinnen. Sehr gut, Lengi. Linie ist gut. Hope Bruce doesn't watch it back and see me just listen to you the whole way down. Hope Bruce doesn't watch it back and see me listening to you the whole way down.
Genau da. Lengi ist super. Das können wir packen.
Haken in?
Das ist gut drin. Der was für eine Steierei.
Okay.
Also das hinten so zahlt, das ist so glücklich. Weißt du, der hat auch hinten Yellow Double machen, gell? Mit dem Risiko, das er nimmt. Ja, aber das ist Zufall hinten.
They're solid.
Sie sind selber gelächelt, weißt du, sie sind selber alle gelächelt.
Clean!
Wundervoll ist.
Yep! Whoa!
Ja, wir machen sie ja eigentlich auch fast meistens.
All the way! All the way! Stay with it, stay with it.
Ist doch perfekt, so.
Very sharp.
Genau. Was das nicht? Ja! Noch gut, ja? Nein, oder?
I just had to use the almost straight way as if I hated. I said I hated the throw, but...
Attention, Sven! Oui, oui, oui! Allez, Sven, pousse! Oh! Oui! Oh! Oh! Stop!
Boys, who's thrown the 3?
Sweet. No, c'est mal fait.
3? Is it 3 I'm meant to throw? Aye, like. Aye, 3's yours rather than Bruce's.
Nose?
Yep.
If you do this, it's great, but nose is fine.
Go away.
10. Gut. Ja, ich glaube, stellen die wir nicht mehr, wenn wir das Gas machen mit dem Stein noch vormachen.
Close, yep. Yes. Yes. Hard.
Clean.
Whoa.
Schnell watch. Roll freeze oder Doppel. Ja, ja. Schnell? Du hast 8, wenn du willst. 8 lebst du, wenn du zu dick bist. Gut. Ist gut, inside out.
Ja.
Dritte, vierte.
If I'm asking from this side, he knows he's good. He's going to tell us no left or
Das ist gut, 80. Da bleiben wir noch, wenn ich... Ja, genau. Dünne Dritte. Easy ist gut.
A steal, but sometimes you don't get what you want in life. A lot of times when you're playing against Bruce Mouat, so.
Attention, Pablo. Oui, oui, ouais.
Maybe not even playing a double here.
Oh, c'est bien, c'est bien.
Just playing it softly, trying to spin buried. Well done by Yannick. Yannick's fresh off knee surgery of some sort, or knee injury. He's missed a little bit of time, but good to see him back out there. If you're going to curl at a high level and practice enough to be at the top of the game, you're going to deal with some injuries. Knees are bad. Curling's bad for your knees, bad for your shoulders if you're a front end sweeper. Another chase for Grant. Solid diet of board weight chases for these guys.
Outturn chase.
Yep. Hard roll. Hard. Hard hammy.
Just playing for the blank, probably at this point now, Brent. That guard is essentially useless in this situation. as high as it is.
And maybe a little bit more motivation to do that, knowing that, you know, they're down 2 without, and every blank end that Mouat can get is advantage them, but they can't blank the next end if they blank this one, because they'd lose the hammer, and that would be a big break, but that's never going to happen, let's be real.
We were told the audio was out for a bit. We were telling some really good stories this end, too.
Well, good. I don't have any more material, so we can just repeat it.
We'll probably just go back to the same ones. Wide open hit here for Benoit Schwartz van Berkel. These hyphenated names now, too, with the Swiss teams, just making it tougher on us.
Yeah, he's just Benoit to me.
Yeah, he's Ben, actually. And Pablo, although I'm proud of my pronunciation on his name. I was told nailed it in the last slam.
What is it?
Pablo Lechat Couchepin.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. He's a hyphenator too?
Yeah. They're all one-name guys to us, though. If you say Pablo, everybody knows who it is. If you say Benoit, everybody knows who it is. You know, they're not Dave or Tom, so it's easy to figure out who we're talking about when we mention their names.
Yeah, most of these curlers, I mean, it's a pretty small group. So if you said all these people out here right now, if you almost all of them, if you said their first name, you know who you're talking about. Rasmus, you know who I'm talking about.
Yep.
Nick, Oscar, Hammy's a good one. That's
Brad.
One. No.
Doesn't it work?
No, because there's Gushu and Jacobs, and they're battling out for best Brad in curling.
The BBIC.
Right now, it's Jacobs.
Yeah, that title is not up for debate at this point. Jacobs up 5-2 after 3 ends of play in their quarterfinal matchup against Puskadovitz. White Nadine 1-0 in the third. Nicholas throwing his last, trying to draw the button for one. And a few seconds here. And Dropkin Dunstone, 2-0 Dunstone after 2.
That's an interesting matchup. I mean, Dunstone rolling lately, made a bit of a team change and brought his old junior third back in there, Colton from second, and reunited the Brush brothers, the Harndens, and they seem to have a good thing going. And then Dropkin, you know, super excited to win that tiebreaker and qualify to slam, as they're, you know, they're right on the cusp of being in and out of slams. And the first few times you qualify, Tyler, and I don't know how you felt, but it's almost like satisfaction.
Yeah.
And then you maybe don't have quite as much fight in you to keep going because you're almost satisfied, and that's a killer.
Yeah, as strange as it sounds, you're right, Brent. When it's not a scene that you're used to or you played in that many times, we kind of look at tour as a ladder. You know, you're always going up a step, and then when you're in the slams, that's it. Like, that's the end of it. I do remember my first in Abbotsford, looking around before our first game to the other houses and the other skips, thinking, we're here, we did it, you know, and that's an easy lull to get into. So we see Bruce throwing his last one for the blank.
Tough shot.
Yeah, we will carry on to the fourth end. Mouat retains hammer, up 3-1 after 3.
There's a place where the world's best curling not only lives, it rocks. Download the new Grand Slam of Curling app and live stream all the action. Get exclusive content, stats, merch, and more. Let's rock.
When it comes to the game we love, I've been
There's a place where the world's best curling not only lives, it rocks. Download the new Grand Slam of Curling app and live stream all the action. Get exclusive content, stats, merch, and more. Let's rock.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable.
And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms? Light as a feather.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
And is the choice of champions.
I've stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise. And
Well, I saved the day. Fix the feed once again, Brent, you know, because I am a
Doing
tech
it all.
wizard.
Doing it all, Tyler.
Hit refresh on the screen. And we are back 3-1. Mouat leading over Schwaller. And Brent, you guys probably didn't face this too many times because you were usually the one teams were chasing. But you get behind on a team that's playing as well as Bruce's team is now. Bruce retains this hammer, and with a 2-point lead, the uphill climb seems so much steeper when you're playing against a team that's playing as well as Bruce is.
Yeah, for sure. The first 3 ends here, it's like, what do we got to do to even get them in any trouble? We haven't been able to put any pressure on them yet for Team Schwaller, and we're not playing poorly. I don't think they're playing their best, but it's an uphill battle for sure to beat the best teams in the world, and especially this is the best team in the world, playing at their absolute best at the moment. Today, I know people have been saying they haven't been at their best this week, and it's like, yeah, well, let's see what happens in the playoffs.
Yeah, we'll use the telestrator here.
Tyler Strader.
What do we do? Question mark.
Yeah, is there a different strategy we can employ? Can we, I don't know, make them think they've got us so they don't peel maybe? Like, the problem is if you look good early in an end, they're just going to bail. So we need some misses out of our front end here, as stupid as that sounds. Hey, Sven and Pablo. Pablo, you make your shots. Sven, let's have a couple half shots. Maybe we can kind of entice them into trying to put us away, because that's really the only way we're going to get back in this game.
Yeah, and the way that we played against the top-ranked teams was never be chasing. Like if we can get in first, at least if you're going to make 9 run-backs in a row, at least you're chasing our stones. You're not scoring. If you miss the 10th one, we're going to get 2 or 3. That's really the way you have to approach these games. But you get down 3 in the first end, you're already dead there.
Yeah, it's like Mike Tyson says, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face.
Punched in the face.
And Bruce punched him in the face in the first end. It's like, okay, well, we're chasing now. We can't, you know, there's very limited options, but
trying to get this to turn over and bump these around. There's a little bit of a miss there from Junior. Rocky Ford, he's cut. The Russian is cut.
Right? We need another center guard here, guys.
And actually a decent setup too, but how many shots do you think it's going to take for that to turn?
Well, Sven needs to make a really good high guard here that's dead in front of everything, and that would make the double super, super difficult.
Yeah, again, now you're playing shots where you're trying to make it physically impossible, which they can do with how this is set up. If you put this 2 feet over the hog line.
This is harder than drawing the button, though. This is too far.
That's going to be staggered, too, so the double peel is there. Brent, you want to take wagers on if Bobby can clear both of these and the shooter goes off?
Well, he's going to make contact on the second one most times. So it's even money at worst. I'd say he's more likely to make contact than not. Even if he just makes the straight double like that.
That does leave the shooter. I call that a miss.
A little bit. I mean, at least it's the yellow one. You still have to throw another guard. But that's the other thing. I mean, when I played, that wasn't even a shot guys tried to make. I just peeled the top one. I'm the second for a reason. Let's let our shooters make the hard shots. But now it's that old word tolerance. If you say that while you're playing, you're not going to be playing today. And if you are, you're not going to be playing this afternoon.
If you're playing against Bruce, you're not going to be playing for more than 5 ends.
I think so. Well, Sven just trying to throw a tight guard. Guard that red one. Maybe sneak a little into the yellow. And be interesting to see how Bruce handles this now. Do they ever switch gears and load it up for the kill shot? Throw an intern freeze? I doubt it, but
I think they're still playing run and feel with the 2 points at least for the time being.
That shot rock wide open. It seemed like they were trying to put it there, and that's not good.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with that guard placement. I think this is a pretty easy call for Bruce to hit this.
Yeah, I think I can hold you.
I don't know if they're trying to trick him or something.
11-5.
But yeah, if you get a little bit of a roll, about 6 inches, show half.
Sven heard me. He missed one on purpose. The other thing is, if he does nose it, he can bump to a pocket, or if he over-rolls by like, a few inches, it's a really good setup. So
11. Really gonna go, Hammy. And again, Bruce on the red.
Okay. Not perfect.
A little bit of an opening now.
Okay.
Red Rock biting in the back 12s could come into play because number 2 count is in the open in that port. You're not playing anything to it now, but 80 on skip stones, you get a chance to hit that and make the back 1 count. Not a bad setup here. You got to throw this with a little bit of weight too, Brent, to get the roll underneath and not jam on the back.
Yeah, that red one's a little bit dicey. If you jam, you're probably rolling maybe right over to that yellow. That's kind of the way you want to play, I would think. And I think Schwaller would still be happy with a force here. Bruce can't blank. The dead roll is ideal. Just roll a rock right under the double centers. That's what you're after, but...
Playing control weight here. Trying to roll undercover and miss the backing. And it does jam, but
good weight call. Perfect roll almost, if you're not going to be underneath, but one of these precise hit and rolls to lie to for Grant, or are they looking at just ripping it out?
There's the gap of that. So you need to hit roll.
Gotta give a shout out to my mom. She's the one that saved the day on the audio situation.
Right?
Let them know. Yeah.
Well, just like I'm thinking
Chris
like
George,
stay in front of
our savior. This is probably just a drill this, make sure it goes type of shot, but there is a little separation.
Yeah. You do that, I'm worried they go here.
That's what my thoughts are, yeah. I'm thinking you're trying to do this.
Bruce thinks he can maybe keep both.
Can I even make the
roll
roll there?
The outside. Again, blank the previous end, so they won't be blanking this one.
Again, you're getting forced anyway, so if it sticks back 12, you don't really mind.
You can, yeah. I'm just worried that
you heard Grant there, like, even if we don't kill it, it doesn't really matter because we're forced anyway. We have to try and score here. So it's not really about removing that red.
Don't mind it.
They might play some speed and try and hit and roll and get that red one out of 4 foot and have their shooter go top 4.
Almost edge on edge.
You playing this then?
I'd like to get to
really tight by.
Here, roll underneath the corner if they can.
And then the other shot they were talking about was throwing it harder and rolling under, smashing it off the yellow, and shooter goes under the 4 foot, but not sure what they decided.
What do you think?
Well, wait, you
see where they put the broom.
Let's go.
Down.
I think you're right. We're going high. Yeah.
Trying to roll. I think this is the right shot too. Far be it from us to question
11.
Bruce is doing right now.
I wouldn't think of that.
You can't yet.
This end.
If we called a shot and then Bruce called something different, I would immediately think, oh, well, we were wrong.
Right. Tough shot to get us by the yellow and stick around.
Clean. Curl. Curl. Clean. Curl. Whoa, straight.
Chips it and still biting. No, actually goes out. That's a miss.
Just missed the line call, but one behind the corner is buried, so if they're going to score, they're probably going to score more than one. Which makes this a must-steal situation for Schwaller. You can't give up 2 here. Down 4 with 4 to play. That's just...
Yeah, if you're looking for positives, I mean, if you would have given them this setup before the end started, going to third, second stone, it is a good steal setup.
Sure is. Double centers. Get this one right buried, top 4, biting the button. Bruce is going to have to try and chase it, at least bump it into the open or freeze and load something up for his next one.
In-turn draw, trying to get to full 8 foot for Yannick Schwaller. This has got a lot of weight right now. It breaks. Probably coming out the other side too. That's going to be mostly open.
Okay, it's steal or bust now. Hit and roll away from the guard, and you're going to have no choice but to go around the guard again. So this might escalate quickly. This could be 3 or 4 here pretty quick, because I don't think there's any choice but to go around.
It's definitely an all or nothing now. Bruce is just trying to have Grant hit this and roll a little bit to the open. They don't want to leave it behind the center.
Easy. Clean. Clean. Curl. Clean. Curl. Clean. Straight.
They say clean a lot, which means close.
Curl.
Does it stick in the house? Of course it does.
Yep, still going to be another come around draw for Schwaller.
Das bringst du nicht weg im
Moment.
Hier, das kannst du nicht wegbringen.
Brothers got a deuce in the third to tie it up against Dunstone. Team Dropkin playing tough.
Also hier Full 8, das kann man nicht wegchasen, das geht nicht.
Team Dunstone to draw in like 3 late in the 4th end. Where's perfect here, Tyler? Probably, maybe even now just biting the 4. Like,
Yeah,
this is a
bite top 4.
defensive come around now.
Yeah, I mean, if you somehow get a steal, great, but you're really just trying to stay away from giving up 2 or 3.
This is about not losing the game right now.
Yeah. He is to bury. They know the line. The previous shot was the correct line, just deep throw. Just want to bite top 4. Should finish on this line. I think the line's good. It's perfect. Dead buried. Top of the 8 foot. And Brent, again, I mean, obviously you'd like to have a better chance at stealing by getting more of the 4 foot, but the deeper it is, better chance that Bruce is going to be able to dig it out. So that's probably the ideal spot, right where they're at.
Pretty close. Probably going to force Bruce to draw, which isn't a bad thing.
It's like Bruce is trying to decide, which turn do we want to play to chip this to the open?
That's definitely possible. It's a hard shot. You're going to leave red shot most of the time.
Well, unless you roll just over center line and miss these 2 and he goes top button.
I think you're probably going to see him draw here. Any kind of decent draw, and you'll have the exact same draw, worst case, on your next one for 1. Great shot there by Benoit, game saver.
If you do, just make the double peel.
Potentially.
He's coming here, and you've got a nose hitter.
Game extender, I guess.
True. Source here, and you have a chance.
Oh, Cups, is that any good? Brad Jacobs with a little third of a rock slash pick double.
We're just going to the double peel on the guards? Is that what we're looking at? Or is this like just like the double raise, double to lie two?
I bet they say clean.
Close. Whoa. Curl. Whoa. Whoa. Straight.
All right, well, that's
interesting.
Not great. And the red stone is open now, but a chance for Schwaller to get a second one in. Brent, where do you like this stone now? That rock is wide open on the top of the 8-foot.
I almost like coming down and splitting it and getting your shooting.
Yeah, I think so. I think you tap that to back 4 and roll in.
I think Bruce was playing that long guard into the tight guard, straight back to split the reds to lie 2. Not a shot that I would see very often. It was awfully close, and now, like they all said, he's got to be really close. This is not an offensive situation for Team Schwaller. Very few places, a really precise draw. These are not fun. Really precise draw, just to avoid disaster.
Pretty good shot there from Dropkin over on sheet B. Run double, clear 2. Dunstone still set up for a deuce, but pretty good. Ross White with another dandy too.
That was a crazy shot by White. You got to go check that one out.
John Cullen, does your wife have any cookies left? You bring any more? I think I have one left. I've been rationing. Are you kidding me? Dude, I would leave that thing out.
Tyler would eat month-old cookies.
I would leave those things out in front of the hotel and then go back 3 days later and find it.
Tu peux l'amener, il faut être 8 pieds, Sven. Ja, full 8 braucht er. Ja, du musst schon ziehen. Full 8! Auf jeden Preis. Full 8, komm!
Needs to be full 8 here. Needs to be full 8 here.
Gotta go.
Merci, mec.
Almost perfect, but not.
Don't think that got there. This is very close for second count.
Well, there's room almost. If that goes a little farther, it's worse because you can almost hit and roll low and move that red one.
Maybe it got far enough. That's maybe. We'll take a look at the overhead, see what we can
there's not enough
here.
room, so might be perfect.
Yeah.
See if our home team brethren here can give us the overhead view so we can take a look at these, see which we think is second. Thank you, gentlemen. Well, I think that's red. I think it's just far enough, Brent.
See what Brent says.
Doesn't change the shot, regardless. You're hitting the open one.
It's close.
It's close. That tells me he thinks it's red.
I'm sticking with my call. Red.
Hell of a sweep there, regardless.
Only had 2 measurements on the broadcasts throughout this week.
Yeah.
Haven't missed one yet. So this will be a hit for either 1 or 2. We believe 1 for Bruce Mouat. Final stone, the first half of this future matchup in the quarterfinals.
Curl.
I didn't like that throw from Brucey.
All the way, Bob. Keep going.
Still hanging.
Right to it.
51 at least. Oh, a little nudge.
Touched it.
Is that enough?
Yeah, you can remove.
So at least a single for Mouat.
So you want to measure or I want to measure?
You just play.
Measure, I guess.
Tommy, we'll measure.
They are going to measure. I think you have to.
And did that little nudge get them shot rock?
This is a big point. 5-1's a lot worse than 4-1.
I think I'm still sticking with red. This is very close. What's your call, Parts?
Well, I got to take the other one. I'll take yellow. Brucey's day.
Well, if you want to be wrong,
I don't mind being wrong. I do that well. Drill it. Oh, it hit it hard.
That is yellow.
That's a deuce, baby.
There's my first loss of the week.
I'm going to get a rum on Tyler's account. Be right back.
Mouat.
When you've conquered another game, a long day, a job well done, and the final work call, we're your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mike's. Eat locally, enjoy casual.
I've stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise. And when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance, pushing limits,
seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions.
Peace of mind, confidence, and financial independence. At World Financial Group, we believe your path to any of these goals is paved by financial education. That's why our agents spend every day empowering individuals and families of all backgrounds with the knowledge to make choices that fit their goals. No matter your financial goals, WFG can help you own your future. Visit worldfinancialgroup.com to learn more.
There's a place where the world's best curling not only lives, it rocks. Download the new Grand Slam of Curling app and live stream all the action. Get exclusive content, stats, merch, and more. Let's rock.
When you've conquered another game, a long day, a job well done, and the final work call, we're your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mike's. Eat locally, enjoy casual.
Back for the fifth end of action here at the WFG Masters Grand Slam of Curling. Quarterfinal action in our feature matchup here in Guelph, Ontario at the Sleeman Center. Bruce Mouat leading Yannick Schwaller 5-1 on to the fifth end. Tyler George here with three-time world champion Brent Lang. Brent, 4-point deficit against any team in the world is a lot, but against the number one ranked team on the planet seems fairly insurmountable.
It's not good news for the team from Switzerland here. Again, need a huge break. They won't expect to win this game at this point, but I won't expect them to give up either. They're going to try and throw everything out there and see if they can get a deuce here and maybe catch a break out of Bruce. Hope that they're human and maybe snag at least a two. Single here doesn't really help them. Single here is a recipe for shaking hands after six, probably.
Top 12.
But two would keep them alive. A three would go a long way in putting a little bit of scare into them. And at this point, they'd be happy if they could get it to 8 and make Bruce throw some kind of shot on the last one.
Okay, line's good now. Line's good.
Unlikely, though.
If you were picking games, going with chalk, the favorites in these 4 games, you're looking pretty good right now. Sheet C, I guess you'd probably call it a coin toss, depending on which Adine team shows up. But Jacobs up 5-3 with hammer in the fifth end of action against Skatovitz. White leading 3-1 over Adine in the fifth. And Dunstone with a 4-2 lead in the fifth over Team Dropping after taking 2 in the fourth end.
All of the teams that got to pick their opponents are in control of their games. But the reason they got to pick their opponents is because they were ranked higher, so in theory, they're a better team anyway this week. So good double corners again. Pablo doing his job, but
Line's good. Don't want to. Line's fine.
so are the front end of Hammy and Bob.
Level with the red.
A little bit, Hammy. We're good.
Probably trying to throw this short toe. I didn't see where Bruce asked for it, but not a long guard, but not in the rings.
Real tight or top 12.
And hit it out of there.
It's going to be right on the logo.
Down 4, I don't love hitting guards. I'd love to come in and just kind of freeze one in there. Okay, go around the corner, sure. Freeze one in the middle, maybe you can save your corners.
Aber das ist du musst 2 cm brechen.
Trying to chip and roll behind the corner. Definitely found the hardest shot.
Der gelbe, ja, du musst ganz ziehen, ja. Gelbe habe ich besser.
Sven Michael, as I call him. I think it's Sven Mikkel. I don't know if it's the better half, it's the other half. Terrible mixed doubles team to play against.
It's tough to be a better half of anything with Alina. As good as she throws it. That's one Rex. Trying to chip that and roll the corner, I believe, but stays mostly for a center guard.
Making Bruce think about not peeling, right? So that might be a good shot. I like it. If he makes that, they definitely peel. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And that's why I missed so many shots at second. If you watch my old games, that was what I was doing. Okay? It wasn't because I wasn't any good.
Right.
It was on purpose. Glenn used to have a signal. He'd just wipe his nose. Just
Don't
tap his nose.
don't make this one longer.
Yeah, no, we can't.
Make it look close at least.
Threw it a little bit similar.
But in all seriousness, I mean, I think if Sven makes that, they walk up and peel the corner, and you're in trouble now. But we got 5 shots left.
Line's great.
We need to make some high degree difficulty shots to get back in this game.
That was throwing this one to tight center around that red guard.
Just hooks it enough.
Just
bricks. If that stops 4 inches shorter, then they can play the red one in there, but now they can't. Maybe play it in behind the corner though, similar shot. Roll behind some triple corners and get some behind it. That's the one.
Ich sehe!
I did actually.
10,5! Also das ist ein Kind. 10,5 so etwas! Wiese darf einfach nicht raus! Es hat nicht mit
Probably similar weight to Sven's last one. Maybe a little bit more.
Das ist vielleicht nur da oben oder nicht, ich weiß nicht. Halb ist sowieso 2. Sven, es ist 2 Drittel. 2 Drittel mit 10,5. Sehr gut. Let's go. Also mit dem Auto. Machen wir 11. Auto nicht.
I don't know what he's...
Kannst du so spielen, ja?
So I think he's playing that shot. That's awfully tight ice for this shot to hit. You want to hit about probably 3/4. Maybe board weight.
Close.
Looks like plenty of weight.
Oh.
Double carve.
Come.
That's a lot of weight.
And that's going to spin onto the rings. Really good shot there.
Does it stay buried?
Yeah, it's completely buried behind both corners.
Really
There's
good.
a higher one up there that actually staggered more. So that's a great shot there from Sven.
Yeah, we'll just chase this one. I know it's buried, but dig it out of here. Will you, Grant?
Okay with that?
If he was a little bit more curl there, the shooter could have rolled over and really guarded this, but
Du musst einfach verstecken im Shooter, oder? Genau. Ja, ja. Und also der Game-Weight mit 2 Guys, ne?
thinking of playing off their own?
Ja, absolut.
I'm okay with this, boys.
No, he's going to chase it.
Long guard's not really in play for this shot. So therefore, if I throw the right weight, I've got half
this is over buried, but the guard, as high as it is, Bruce feels that Grant can at least chip this, try to dig it out.
Good analysis there by Grant. He said, so the long guard's not really in play here. If I hit that, I've missed it. So if it wasn't there, it wouldn't look that tough if I just get the weight right. So that's what he's after.
In turn, dig. from Grant Hardy.
Hard, gotta go. Clean. Curl. Whoa. Yep, yes. High. Gotta go.
Tight to the guard. Ooh.
There it is.
Got a flinch. But still rolls to center and
line 3.
It's 3 anyways.
Yep.
And the double and roll may be there though. Still have 4 shots left, so just trying to load up a few in the house. Maybe give yourself a chance for a 2 or 3.
Ik hoop eens te rollen, zo kan je dat niet brengen.
I shouldn't have got you off it.
This to roll. Double roll. Nee. Toch,
So it lines up really well for the double and roll. Got to throw it with a little bit of weight to get that top one out of the 8-foot.
Roll right on top of the other red one there, and Grant did move the guard, but not by very much. Don't see much else. I guess you could hit and roll on the back.
Yeah, the only other shot would be the hit and roll on the back behind the 2 staggered rocks.
Make Bruce chase that one that Grant couldn't find.
The chase is niet meer.
Team Jacobs continuing to roll over on sheet A.
I think they did decide on your double and roll here, Tyler. You need some speed, at least a firm normal or something like that. Doesn't have to whip it by any means.
So in turn, firm weight, hit and roll here from Yannick Schwaller. Got a mess of guards to roll behind if they can make it. Just hits a little too thick.
Didn't roll to an easy double at least.
I'd love to make the same shot.
And might play into a jam even if they did decide to play the slash. I don't think they will.
Or same shot.
Yeah.
Lie 2. Yeah,
same shot, okay.
Yeah, that one's a little easier after they tick the guard over on the previous shot.
It'll be 12 this time.
Schon gut. Ganz wenig mehr aktiviert, das ist wirklich gut. Ja, das ist ein perfekter Hinterroller.
Same weight as his first one. Same path. Down to the, shave the guard over, but
expect this one to be made. Needs to turn over. A lot of room right now. Rolls to back 8. The 2 is in play at least now for Team Schwaller.
Red, no, yellow's line 2 at the moment, right? What if we just nose that yellow, though? That would be pretty good.
Nose would be the shot.
Bruce is going to have to give them a soft deuce here most times.
Broom looks like maybe board weight. Just nose on these 2 yellows. And likely a blast after that for Bruce, Brent.
Yeah, I think he may just hit and roll in front, but probably blast it. Probably can't get shot by hitting and rolling in front, so it doesn't really help you.
And this has got a curl to get the nose. A good carve there from the big man, Pablo Lechak Cushpan.
It's just close to the outside one.
Wondering if they have room to slash double.
Well, we need to hit a third.
You're just ripping that out and taking a 2-point lead in the hammer to 6 would be my guess. Bobby's having a look. Yeah. Bobby says, looks easy to me. Bruce says, anything's easy for me. Let's play it.
You do miss it. You got that for your next, so lose 2.
As Grant said, worst case, we'll lose 2. Scottish way of saying give up 2.
Slash attempt here for Bruce Mouat. Trying to lose both reds.
Guard's got to be a little bit in his eye for them to ask at the other end is the room, but
Double zum Schluss.
Yep.
And Bruce get both of these moving again.
I think so. Grant doesn't like it.
A little tight. So just clears the one.
I would never freeze over here.
Yeah, I mean, I know you think you have to get 3, but
you're never getting 3 even if you freeze over there. He's always going to get 1 out.
Lose 1 for sure.
You just draw around the corner guard, take your free deuce.
Yep, going to the corner. Bruce is blasting on the number 1.
Ja, also sobald du da ist Katastrophen, oder? Das ist ein Blank, ja. Das ist ein Blank, ja. Da ist auch ein Blank. Ja, wir werden fast forced, oder? Ja, ja. Also nehmen wir einfach 2. Also, das ist schon ein ganz schwieriger Dreier so. Ja, aber es gibt 3 nachher. Ist gut. Ist es der? Nein, nein, ich bin
Still talking about it, but I think they're going around the corner. Bruce will just blast out that back 8 red one, and you'll either have an open hit if he picks it clean, or you'll have a draw to the rings. I won't say draw to the ocean anymore. That the ultimate commentator curse last night for poor Team Hostley.
Missed the ocean.
He did. He threw one on shore.
Corey Dropkin may be in some serious trouble here against Matt Dunstone over on sheet D.
T-line is good. Regardez bien, regardez bien. Attention, Pablo. Ligne bien. C'est large.
Anything buried here just takes away the double, as long as you're not like back 8. Then there'd be a double off the other one. Looks like it's on a pretty good line. This is going to be pretty buried, and Bruce is going to hit the open one and lose 2.
Yeah, the right call too, Brent. You understand the thought process that you're trying to find a 3 down by 4, but way better chance that you get forced or end up blanking even, playing that freeze, and it's a sure 2 playing this shot.
Bruce bringing the high hard one here, hit it anywhere, broom side. That red one will fly. Most times he'll lose the back yellow and the shooter. And then he'll get to choose where he wants to draw to the ring.
Yep.
Mouat just playing the clear on this red stone. Will be no problem. So a draw to the house for 2 points for Yannick Schwaller. And climb back in this matchup.
Es ist nicht treffen, oder? Es ist ein Sliver, ja, einfach Paper.
What's he looking at here?
Für mich gut.
Trying to figure out if there's some way to get 3. Squirting through, I think, like play normal. And they are going to try. So trying to basically make contact with both these reds at the same time. Shooter carries through. And the guard on the left sneaks into the house.
Shot of the week candidate.
This would be right up there. It may just be there. Final stone here in the 5th.
I don't know if that's hard enough to get your shooter in.
Yeah, the weight is a little soft. Let's see if Benoit can come up with something special here.
No bueno.
Yeah, and that's going to go through. So too thick. Ends up being a single. So still trailing by 3, 5-2 after 5 ends of play.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable.
And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms?
Light as a feather.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And is the choice of champions.
Risk reward shot from Benoit Schwartz van Berkel on his last in the 5th. Going for the circus shot to try to get 3, but instead just ends up with a single. Now down 3 without hammer in the 6th to Bruce Mouat.
They must have done some math there in their heads and figured their chances of winning, even if they got a deuce there, were almost 0. They figured there was a higher percentage of making that shot than winning with a deuce. Now they're dead, though. Dead in the water here. Missed the center line. This is where the shoulders slump quite easily, and the kind of grind factor, if you want to call it that, totally disappears there. Close to just accepting their fate. Hammy's going to make this chip shot, roll in the rings, just to make it clear.
Yeah, as that guard was off the center line, they are able to play the tick. Moves it over to the corner, rolls to the back 8. Perfectly done by Junior.
That's where you start to talk about where you're going for lunch if you're Team Schwaller. What you guys want to do tonight? Go out for a nice dinner, maybe. Get primed up for the Grand Slam of karaoke, which is happening at the Delta.
At the Delta, at the hotel. What a beautiful thing.
At the conference center there, and there's at least 7 acts signed up to sing karaoke. And
Insider info right here.
I'm hearing some pretty interesting things, including some people have been practicing their choreography, incling dance moves. He's on the big screen right now, actually, in the arena. Mr. Dropkin and the boys from the US of A. Or
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Tom Howell is running the show on the choreography. If that's the case.
So Pablo is able to hit the center line on this one, so Hammy has no choice. Can't move that one around. Needs to just go around it, and then you'll see them switch to peel mode, and if they can score 1 here,
Getting better, still
this game's all but over. Score 2 here, you'll probably see handshakes.
Can we just claim all of Mouat's games the rest of the way out? Brent, can we be the official commentary?
Sure, why? You don't,
Bruce Mouat?
You don't want to call any games that go 8 ends?
That ends. I want to attach ourselves to Bruce's team.
Okay. Yeah, I would love to attach myself to their paychecks, like their cash winnings.
I think so, yeah. I mean, we could probably get some kind of royalties out of this. Oh, what a dandy there from Matt Dunstone. Trying to avoid a 2 from Corey Drop, and I think Drop is going to have to play open hit for 1.
Ligne bien, ligne bien.
13-48, and then
Oui.
versus last of that too.
Oui. Cut. Cut.
Sen going around everything.
I like that.
Single.
Like a little deeper, but.
Peel guard, peel guard, peel guard's coming up here for a little bit.
Single this way.
I think so.
2/3.
No real danger here for Team Mouat. Here's Bub. Just playing the peel.
Whoa. Whoa. Clean.
Mouat has that vibe going right now, Brent, that reminds me of when Rachel Holman has it going too, that they just look bored. You know, just make whatever. Yeah. You guys still want to keep playing? Fine.
There's definitely an aura, bit of a superpower aura about them right now when things are going good. You know, the Italians had it last year, Team Maturnaz. I remember watching them. They had me interested in watching and seeing what was different about what they were doing. And it was just a shot-making clinic after clinic is what they were doing.
I wouldn't have changed where we put Hammies anyway.
And then this year, you know, they're kind of riding the struggle bus a little bit. You know, they're close, but get into a tiebreaker and just get run out of the building this morning by Schwaller, 7-1, and too many misses in the game we watched yesterday against White. It's a fine line, and it's hard to stay at that level for a long time.
Talk to Coach Ryan Fry, that squad too, Brent, and he said he wants this team to face as much adversity as possible before they get to the games. It'll be a hometown team. There's going to be a lot of pressure. So he wants them to face as much pressure as possible leading into the 14 of Milan games. Don't know if it's going to be effective or not, but you do want a squad to go through the fire before they play in something that pressure-packed, and hasn't been the greatest season for them, but all that matters really is for them to be ready once you get to 26.
Yeah, and it's not as easy as flipping the switch, but absolutely you want to have been tested, and you know your patience, and they're a fiery team, so they ride the waves of momentum both directions. And if you don't ever have anything go wrong, and then it goes wrong in potentially the biggest game of your life, you're not going to know what to do. And it's impossible to go through the slams and not have that happen to you. But I would agree with Ryan. It's good to have some adversity. As much as they're going to try, they're not going to be able to replicate what it's going to be like at the Olympics, though.
Pretty thin. Can I go thick side and try and get it onto the other ring?
Regardless, they got to make some more curling shots. I know that. They've proven, winning 3 slams last year, they're capable of beating anybody and doing it over and over and over again. So.
Then you're trying to hit a quarter.
So we're talking about the double peel for fun, apparently.
Thin.
Double peel, get it into the top yellow and bump it straight back on the button, spin it out the side door. And then watch for Team Schwaller to exit side door left and just say, that's good enough. That shot I said is possible.
There should be shots that you make that it's an auto handshake.
This is one.
Like if you make this, the other team has to quit. Oh no.
Oh, come on, Grant, be better.
It's so close to exactly that. Still really good.
Just
That's
had
just
to
mean.
curl a hair, I think, or throw it just harder.
The sick part is it's called too.
It wasn't an accident, no.
Yeah.
Just had to hit that second one a little thinner. A little more curl on the shooter there, and
that's so good.
When the PS5 game comes out, I think Team Mouat better be on the cover of the curling version.
I think you have to win enough games at the amateur level to unlock Team Mouat.
That's an option
too. You should, like, if you played Tecmo Bowl back in the day, Brent, you couldn't play the Raiders because you get Bo Jackson.
Okay.
He was so good, like it was cheating. Like it started fights with friends if you took the Raiders. That's kind of what that would be with the curling game. If you take Mouat, that's not fair.
Bruce Mouat is the Bo Jackson of curling. That's what we're going with?
Tecmo Bo. They're the Tecmo Bo of curling.
Bruce knows curling, that's for sure. And I think the only option here for Schwaller is to make that yellow double and force to one that way, I guess. Could corner freeze perfectly.
Yeah, maybe tap it like 3 inches so it doesn't drag.
Still on a guard for now, I think. Bruce might not be afraid to come down and, if he could, hit that yellow one on the nose and lie a million, lie 3, and really take a chance at winning the game right now. I don't hate it. If I'm them, I actually like it. If it's possible. Depends where this guard is. We're into skip stones here, though, in the 6th end. Needs to be usable. Can't be high, or Bruce will definitely make a play in the house.
He's trying to guard these two up. That'll be just fine from Benoit. Probably still appeal, huh, Brent? I mean, you're not coming around, I don't think.
I think I would if I was skilled like these guys.
You need to. You also roll dead center.
Talking about the run back, that's not one I would think of.
Single peel and he makes this.
National team coach Greg Drummond,
knows it.
2012 world silver medalist, 2014 Olympic silver medalist. Is that accurate? Did I make that up?
I think that's right.
12's definitely right. It's actually so is 14. That makes it correct.
It has to move it.
I know you're accurate on 12.
14 as well. He was on. By then, Murdoch had taken Tom Brewster's team away from him.
He might just
from 12 and was skipping and lost to Team Jacobs.
And the Cups kind of ran through that one.
Started 1 and 2, and they were. If you had talked to them, they weren't imploding, but they were not in a good headspace at 1 and 2 early in the week, and they recovered though.
Yeah.
I knew it as it stopped there. I thought, like, how stupid are you?
I think that's your shot then.
Other scores too, as they're discussing the shot. Jacobs leading Skotovitz 6-4 in the 7th with hammer. Sheet C, White leading 4-1 over Adine in the 6th. And sheet D, Dropkin trails Dunstone 4-3. Dunstone with hammer in the 6th end.
Premier end, that point. It's tight. Both teams are similar good.
So he's playing the runner here, hey? Looks like.
Looks that way. Another one for fun for Bruce.
Hard. Whoa.
Playing the straight run.
He's giving up on it and just going to straight.
Hard away. Leave it draw.
Get that one in the rings.
Oh, don't even.
Do it. Oh, unlucky. So do you play the double? You play the freeze bump? I think you need to score here. So
I think it's freeze bump. I think you're just tapping it a few inches so you can't lose both red.
Also ein Viertel Cover da freeze ist.
Ja, aber eben, vielleicht können wir wirklich fast halb drauf sein und...
Halb drauf ist ein Gimme-Doppel, Gimme für 2, sage ich. 3 vielleicht sogar.
Sag jetzt mal, wenn wir hier drauf sind, ist das eigentlich auch nicht...
Der trägt auch immer noch, gell?
Wenn ich den so 15 tappe, sind wir 2 Shots, oder?
Ja klar, aber dann der Doppel, oder?
Ja, wenn ich 2 Drittel treffe, sind wir... Ja gut.
Okay, ja.
Ich weiß nicht, was...
Ja, ich weiß nicht, was... Also, wir können...
Wenn ich heavy bin, das ist so...
Also wir können Rasenhof bringt kein No-Set, aber die Spur können sie so gut.
Still talking here, not exactly sure what they're going to do, but I don't think there's really an option. I mean,
Was ist das? Das ist 4/5 Preis.
it's like you freeze right on the corner, move it an inch or two. Maybe you could lie 2 and somehow not leave it double. Never going to steal more than 1, but a steal of 1 would sort of keep you alive.
Voilà, okay, voilà.
So?
Ja, sehr gut. Ja.
Die Länge?
Ja, magst du.
Es geht nicht so viel.
So just want to separate these a little bit, probably back 12 weight, somewhere in there. They don't want it dead frozen, as it wouldn't be shot and the drag effect would lose both reds. So they just want to tap this stone, probably 6 inches. It's possible, Brent, if you tap it just right, you sit 2.
That would be the target for sure. Don't want to leave a red double, but it looks like the red double might scoot over to the other side, yellow one, but doesn't matter. You got to try and make something perfect here, and if it doesn't go well, handshakes will be coming, but not a lot on the risk side here in terms of you've kind of already lost the game, so maybe you can miracle get back in it here.
For maybe 3/4 tap. Needs to curl a lot right now. That's going to leave
it's Miller time.
A very makeable double for Bruce Mouat.
Yeah, that's okay.
Just a dirty run back double from Colton Mouat over on Chute B. You hear the crowd roar.
Also mit dem Weight ist schwierig, oder? Wie machst du das? Steigt weniger als ja, absolut.
So Mouat playing the double. Very likely for handshakes here. Pretty close to nose.
Trying to find a way that he could even possibly miss this, and
I'm not even going to put odds on that.
Needs to pick, I think.
Final stone.
Yep.
Sixth end. Bruce Mouat double for 3.
Hard! Hard, Hammy. Hard! Right to it, right to it, right to it.
They don't sound very worried.
And that'll do it. That's 3 for Mouat, and that's handshakes. Final score here in our feature matchup. Bruce Mouat 8-2 over Yannick Schwaller. Bruce moves on to the semifinals, looking for an unprecedented 4th consecutive slam victory.
I believe he is waiting for the winner of that Miskatovic-Jacobs game, and it's really looking like it's going to be Team Jacobs. So a rematch of the last Grand Slam final coming up in the semifinals later today.
And that will be at 7 p.m. tonight. But we will be back at 3 p.m. for the women's quarterfinals. It's for Tyler George, Brent Lang, and the home team lab crew, the Grand Slam of Curling. We will see you at 3 p.m.